Do your drawings look flat? Still can't draw the head from multiple angles, even after that Loomis method tutorial? In this video, I'll teach you how to master form, so your drawings will look solid and three-dimensional, and you'll be able to draw your subjects from any angle you choose. I'll give you exercises that will change the way you draw, so that drawing solidly will feel so natural that the page itself will feel like a three-dimensional space that your lines and shapes can reach into. Finally, I'll show you how I used my knowledge of form to animate this raptor. For some reason, every beginner artist seems to get the advice to break their subjects down into simple shapes. So the beginner artist takes this advice and draws figures that are a bunch of circles and lines. The problem with this advice is that it can lead to flat drawings because it conflates the terms shape and form. These may sound like the same thing, but in art terms, they're different. Shapes are two-dimensional. They have no volume, while forms are three-dimensional and exist in three-dimensional space. When we draw three-dimensional subjects, like characters or figures, what we're really doing is representing their three-dimensional forms. If you only think in terms of shapes, your drawings will appear flat. For your drawings to appear solid and three-dimensional, you need to think in terms of forms. Think boxes and cylinders, not squares and circles. If you draw your figures as just a bunch of circles and lines, it's not your fault. You got bad advice. But now you know better, so stop it. Breaking down subjects into simple forms is called analytical drawing, and it's an important step towards drawing from imagination. With analytical drawing, we can draw a subject from imagination by constructing it out of three-dimensional forms. Then, when we wrap the details around those three-dimensional forms, the drawing will look three-dimensional and match the perspective. If we construct our subject out of shapes instead of forms, we lack that perspective and form information, making it much harder to place the details in a way that looks three-dimensional. When artists talk about structure, this is what they're referring to. It's much easier to learn these basic forms and draw them from imagination at different angles than it is to draw a subject from imagination by starting with the surface details. With enough practice, that structure can become internalized, so the artist no longer needs to draw the structure because they know it's there. At that point, the artist can just draw the subject from imagination and it will look three-dimensional. A solid structure allows artists to draw characters that look consistently three-dimensional from multiple angles. In this example from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, we can see that the details of the head follow a three-dimensional structure. To do this well, you need to be good at drawing basic forms from imagination at many angles. This may sound simple, but it's more difficult than it seems. The basic forms that we use for analytical drawing, called primitives, are the box, cylinder, sphere, cone, and pyramid. These forms are simple enough to be plotted with linear perspective, yet versatile enough that they can be modified and combined to represent almost any subject. When we draw a form from imagination, we're relying on a mental model of the form. This is our internal understanding of the shape and dimensions of the form and how it looks from various angles. If we lack experience with the form, our mental model may be incomplete or inaccurate. We improve our ability to draw forms from imagination by improving our mental models. I've had a lot of success with this exercise in improving students' ability to draw primitives from their imagination. In this example, I'll draw the box, but this can be done with any of the primitives. Start by imagining your box at a specific angle. Then, draw the box from imagination at that angle. Then use linear perspective to check your work and fix any mistakes. Drawing the box tests your mental model, while checking the box gives you feedback that allows you to fix any inaccuracies in your mental model. The more you repeat the process, the more accurate your mental model becomes. Drawing the box from many angles makes your mental model more complete. I explain how to check primitives using linear perspective, along with many other drawing fundamentals in my book, Imaginative Drawing, that you can download for free at imaginativedrawing.com. I know drawing boxes over and over again doesn't sound like a ton of fun, but students who do pages of these supercharge their ability to draw forms from imagination. You don't have to do it all at once either. If you do just a few boxes every day, before you know it, your drawings will look much more three-dimensional. I'm guessing you want to draw more interesting things than just boxes and cylinders. So let's look at how we can build mental models of characters and objects. In this exercise, we'll build a mental model of a real object. This is good practice because you can give yourself feedback with a real object in ways that you can't with a fictional subject, like a character. Choose an object that's small enough to fit in your hands. In this example, I'll draw this chess piece. Start by studying your object to build your mental model. Drawing from observation helps with this. Now, imagine your object at a specific angle, just like you did with the primitives. Draw your object from imagination at that angle. I find it can help to draw a box to establish the perspective. To check your work, hold your object at a similar angle and compare it to your drawing. Do this to fix any mistakes in your drawing. When you check your work, you're fixing any inaccuracies in your mental model. Like with primitives, the more you repeat this process, the more complete and accurate your mental model becomes. If you do this enough times, you'll be able to accurately draw your object from any angle and have it appear three-dimensional. This exercise improves your ability to solidly draw characters and objects from any angle. So you'll be able to draw characters from multiple angles and still have them look like the same character, and draw your objects to fit the perspective of your backgrounds. We can use the same process to learn anatomy by building mental models of anatomical structures. It's more difficult to check our mental models of fictional subjects, like characters. However, we can check their consistency using a technique from traditional animation. Switching rapidly between drawings can make them appear to move. This is known as flipping, since traditionally it was done by rapidly flipping sheets of paper, like you would with a flipbook. If your forms are inconsistent, when your drawings are flipped, they'll appear to morph as they move. Flipping between drawings of characters allows us to spot and fix their inconsistencies and refine our mental model. We can practice maintaining consistency by drawing the mental models we've already learned at multiple angles and flipping between the drawings. It's normal for traditional animators to flip frequently as they're drawing. In this example, I'm able to draw this raptor consistently from multiple angles because I have a mental model of its basic forms. I understand the shape and dimensions of the model and how it would look from different angles. This mental model is made up of modified primitives, and I can wrap the details around these basic forms. I developed this mental model by studying a raptor skull from multiple angles, as well as some trial and error in my own design decisions. By flipping between drawings, I'm able to keep my forms consistent as I animate. If you don't want your art to look flat, learn to think in terms of forms. Building mental models of primitives will make thinking in terms of forms much more natural. With a solid grasp on form, we can build mental models of objects and characters. Before you know it, you'll have mastered drawing forms, and your work will effortlessly look solid and three-dimensional. I have a lot more exercises like these that will build your fundamental drawing skills in my book, Imaginative Drawing. This is the textbook to my Drawing Fundamentals class in animation school, but you can download it completely for free at imaginativedrawing.com. I also plan to make more videos covering these exercises, so subscribe to make sure you don't miss those. If you want to learn more about drawing fundamentals, check out this video right here. I'm trying to take the art instruction I do in the classroom and bring it to the internet so it can help more people. If that's something you believe in, then help me get the word out. Like this video, share the video or the book with people you think would benefit from it, or just leave a comment and make fun of the way I look, because I think that's funny. Thanks for watching, and happy drawing!